That backcourt is carrying them here early. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Here's Jordan. He'll fire a three-pointer. Get it! He put it in!
Back to Jordan.
Oh! Running down. Watch, he's got Artist McGilmore on the back pedal. Up, 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 and away!
It was just another night in Chicago. Until it wasn't. November 13, 1984. The Bulls tipped off under the hum of stadium lights, unaware that history was about to erupt. Just 9 games into his NBA career, a wiry, hungry rookie named Michael Jordan stepped onto the court with no legacy, no rings, and no reason to be feared yet. Across from him stood George, the Iceman Gervin, 4-time scoring champion, smooth as silk, cold as ice, a future Hall of Famer with murder in his finger roll. It was supposed to be a lesson, a master meeting a student. But what happened next? What flipped the script forever? The city of Chicago was alive with an electric anticipation that crackled through the air like static. The Chicago Stadium, a hallowed ground for basketball, was filled with fans who had come to witness not just a game, but the emergence of something extraordinary. The Bulls, a team caught in the limbo between despair and hope, were struggling to find their footing in a league dominated by legends. Their record was a testament to their growing pains, and the fans felt it. They had seen flashes of brilliance from rookies before, but tonight felt different.
And now the noise factor begins to really increase. Here is the man. They call him Mr. Jordan in Chicago.
Standing at the center of this anticipation was a 21-year-old rookie from North Carolina. He was lean, hungry, and untainted by the pressures of fame. His name was Michael Jordan, but on this night, he was merely another young player seeking respect in a league that could be unforgiving. Across the court stood George Gervin, the Iceman man, who had turned scoring into an art form. Gervin was not just a player, he was a phenomenon. A 4-time scoring champion who carried himself with an air of unshakable confidence. He was the epitome of cool, an ice sculpture amidst the heat of competition. But tonight, the stage was set for a clash of generations. Jordan, the rookie, was determined to carve his name into the annals of basketball history. Gervin, the established star, was ready to defend his legacy. Little did they know, this game would not only define their careers but also signal a seismic shift in the landscape of the NBA. As the fans filed into the stadium, the energy was palpable. The air was thick with the scent of popcorn and the sound of excited chatter. Children wore oversized jerseys, and older fans reminisced about the glory days of the Bulls. They all came hoping for a glimpse of greatness, a moment that would linger in their memories long after the final buzzer. This was not just another regular season game. It was a chance to witness the dawning of a new era.
Out of 3 attempts. Jordan spin move. Bradley, great defense to get back. Jordan goes up, hits it, and is fouled by Bradley.
Just minutes into the game, a loose ball bounced free. Jordan seized it like a man with something to prove. 1 dribble, 2. He took off not like a player headed for the rim, but like someone leaping into his destiny. A double clutch in midair, a soft finish off the glass, and the foul. The crowd didn't cheer it, gasped. Not because it was flashy, but because it was precise, intentional. It wasn't just 2 points. It was a declaration.
Looking for penetration, spin move, hangs in the air, off the glass, it is. And that's what Wes and I were talking about in the pregame.
This wasn't a rookie trying to impress. It was a force announcing its arrival. Jordan had just thrown down the gauntlet, and from that moment on, the game tilted. Not in the way the Spurs expected, but in a way no one could stop. He was playing with something deeper than confidence. He was playing like the league already belonged to him. As the game progressed, the atmosphere in the arena shifted. The excitement was palpable, the energy electric. Fans who had come to see Gervin were now witnessing the birth of a new star. With every move Jordan made, he drew them in deeper, igniting their hopes and dreams for a franchise that had struggled for so long. The stage was set and the rookie was ready to shine. But the Spurs weren't going to roll over easily. They were a seasoned team, accustomed to the pressure of big games. Gervin, with his smooth demeanor, would respond. He had faced many challenges before, and he was not about to let a rookie steal his thunder. The battle lines were drawn, and the stage was set for a clash of titans. George Gervin had earned his name, the Iceman. He didn't sweat under pressure, he froze it. When the heat rose, Gervin only got smoother. He floated through defenses, scoring with such ease it felt unfair. His signature finger roll was a thing of beauty, a move that seemed to defy the laws of physics. But Jordan wasn't here to float. He was here to burn. And he wasn't just here to score, he wanted to lock down Gervin himself. Nobody asked him to do that. Rookies didn't guard legends. But Jordan insisted. Jordan shadowed Gervin with suffocating intensity. He cut off angles, denied entry passes, and smothered movement. And on the other end, he was merciless. Behind the back assists, mid-range fadeaways, thunderous breakaway dunks. His offense was relentless. Every play he couldn't rely on his team for, he created on his own. And as his confidence grew, so did his control of the entire court. Gervin, sensing the challenge, tried to respond. He attempted to shake off Jordan's relentless defense, using his signature hesitation moves and smooth footwork. Yet Jordan was everywhere, anticipating Gervin's moves with an uncanny instinct. Every time Gervin thought he had space, Jordan was there, a tenacious shadow refusing to fade. The crowd was on its feet, sensing the shift in momentum. They were witnessing a clash of titans, and the rookie was holding his own against the legend. The tension in the arena was palpable. This wasn't just a game, it was a battle for respect, for dominance, for the future of the league. The roar of the crowd echoed with every basket Jordan made, a thunderous affirmation of his burgeoning greatness. As the first half unfolded, it became clear that Jordan was not intimidated. He was thriving under the pressure, and every basket he made seemed to fuel his determination. Gervin, while still scoring, began to feel the weight of Jordan's presence. The Iceman had come to Chicago, expecting to teach a lesson, but instead, he found himself in a dogfight with a rookie who was not backing down. As he later reflected on his journey, Jordan stated,
Professional level is very hard work, and I think I'm dedicated enough to work hard and try to be the best basketball player I can. And it's good to get comments from everyone, and that's inspiring to go out and keep working hard.
This mindset fueled his rise from a rookie to a global icon. Despite Jordan's brilliance, the Bulls trailed at halftime. The team lacked depth. Apart from Orlando Woolridge, no one could step up with consistent firepower. The momentum had shifted to the Spurs, but where others saw discouragement, Jordan saw opportunity. What the scoreboard didn't show was that something had shifted inside him. The second half wasn't just about fighting back. It was about taking over. In the third quarter, Jordan exploded. He took impossible passes and turned them into fast breaks. He spun through defenders and drilled mid-range jumpers like he was born for it. He drew double teams and still found open teammates like Daly and Jones. His decision-making looked like that of a 10-year veteran. He wasn't reacting to the game, he was dictating its every rhythm. And for every adjustment the Spurs made, Jordan was already 2 steps ahead. The Bulls' bench began to buzz with energy, feeding off Jordan's intensity. Teammates who had previously hesitated were now emboldened, stepping up to support their rookie leader. Jordan's drive was infectious, igniting a fire within the team that had been missing all season. The crowd roared with every basket, sensing that something special was unfolding. As the third quarter wore on, the scoreboard began to reflect the shift in energy. Jordan was relentless, attacking the basket with a ferocity that left defenders scrambling. He was no longer just a rookie. He was a force of nature, a whirlwind of talent and determination that the Spurs struggled to contain. With every basket, Jordan's confidence soared higher. He began to feel invincible, as if the basketball gods themselves were smiling down upon him. The crowd's energy surged, and the roar of approval became a powerful motivator. Every time he scored, it felt like a personal victory not just for him, but for the entire city of Chicago, which had longed for a hero.
Looking for penetration, spin move, hangs in the air, off the glass, it is!
The Bulls were rallying, and with each passing minute, the possibility of an upset loomed larger. The fans could feel a palpable energy that surged through the arena, lifting the team as they fought for every point. Jordan was not just playing for himself, he was playing for the city, for the fans who had endured years of disappointment. The stakes had never felt higher. While Jordan was setting the tone offensively, he was also proving his worth on the other side of the ball. George Gervin, known for his silky smooth scoring ability, found himself struggling to get going. Jordan's defense was relentless, mirroring the energy he brought on offense. He shadowed Gervin, denying him the ball at every opportunity, cutting off his passing lanes and forcing him into difficult shots. By halftime, Gervin had managed just 10 points, while Jordan had poured in 25 points, an incredible performance for a rookie in just the first half. But what was even more impressive than Jordan's ability to score was his effort on defense. He wasn't just chasing the ball around, he was actively making plays. Every rebound Jordan grabbed was an opportunity for an outlet pass or an immediate drive to the basket. Every loose ball was a chance to get to the free throw line. His hunger for the game was palpable, and it was clear to everyone watching that Jordan had come to play.
He was all over him the whole time, like he was his shadow, using his hands and making his life impossible. And the truth is that George was having a hard time scoring that night. That gave Jordan more confidence to try impossible things, like this great behind-the-back pass to Orlando Woolridge. His aggressive defense immediately turned into offense.
By the end of the third quarter, Jordan had put up 29 points. He rested for a few minutes, not because he needed to, but because the storm needed to catch its breath. And when the fourth quarter came, he returned like lightning. This wasn't fatigue. This was the final act. He glided off screens, pulled up from mid-range, slashed through the paint, and left defenders spinning. The Spurs tried everything: witches, traps, zones. None of it worked. What set him apart wasn't just the scoring, it was the timing, the feel. He read the defense like a seasoned general. When they bit on the jab step, he punished them with the shot. When they overhelped, he dished to the open man. If you played too low, he rose over you. If you gave him a step, he took a mile. There wasn't a counter he didn't have. He didn't just break the defense, he dismantled it, piece by piece. With each basket, the crowd grew louder, feeding off Jordan's energy. They could feel the shift, the realization that they were witnessing the birth of a legend. The game was no longer just a contest. It was a showcase of Jordan's remarkable talent. He was no longer just playing, he was performing, captivating everyone in the arena.
They have Jordan posted down on the baseline with Moore. Now he pops out. There's the ball for him. He takes the shot. 41 points for Michael Jordan. But Johnson has a clear height advantage. Up in the air. Banks won the tip, but it went to Jordan. Jordan driving. Basket! Michael Jordan with 43, and the Bulls have a 5-point lead. Timeout San Antonio. They take one of their two remaining.
What a big job by Steve Johnson again. He got the tip. Michael Jordan stayed back. He stayed back to give him a little presence in the backcourt.
The Iceman, once so smooth and untouchable, now found himself struggling to keep pace. Gervin's usual confidence began to wane under the relentless assault of the rookie. The tables had turned dramatically, and the crowd could sense the inevitability of Jordan's dominance. The scoreboard was ticking down, but the real battle was taking place in the hearts and minds of everyone watching. As the fourth quarter progressed, Jordan's impact became undeniable. He was not just scoring, he was creating opportunities for his teammates, drawing defenders and making plays that showcased his all-around game. The Bulls were rallying, and with each passing minute, the possibility of an upset loomed larger. The fans could feel a palpable energy that surged through the arena, lifting the team as they fought for every point. Every time Jordan touched the ball, the anticipation reached a fever pitch. The crowd held its breath, fully aware that they were witnessing something extraordinary. The tension was electric, and as Jordan moved, it was as if time itself slowed down. He was no longer just a rookie. He was a maestro conducting a symphony of basketball brilliance. By the final buzzer, Jordan had delivered a performance most veterans couldn't dream of. 45 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. He shot 67% from the field, 100% from beyond the arc, and 72% from the line. But those weren't just numbers, they were warnings. And the most jarring number of all? George Gervin. 28 points. Held to 17 fewer points by the same rookie guarding him all night. The Iceman found himself frozen not by pressure, but by a force the NBA had never seen before. Gervin had come to Chicago expecting to humble the kid, but he walked out knowing the league had changed. Right before his eyes, in real time, he saw it. The future had arrived and it was wearing number 23. The crowd erupted as the final buzzer sounded, a cacophony of cheers and disbelief. Fans poured into the streets, celebrating not just a victory, but the dawning of a new era. Jordan had not only outplayed Gervin, he had outclassed him, sending a clear message to the entire league. The era of Michael Jordan had begun. As the players shook hands, Gervin offered a respectful nod to Jordan. It was a moment of acknowledgement, a silent recognition of the shift that had just occurred. Jordan, still riding the high of his performance, felt a mixture of joy and disbelief. He had not just proven himself, he had announced his arrival in a way that would resonate throughout the league. Something broke free inside Jordan that night. The nerves disappeared. The reverence vanished. The awe turned into fire. For the first time, he didn't see legends like Gervin as towering gods. He saw them as peers, rivals, obstacles. And once that belief clicked, there was no going back. That night, Jordan stopped chasing greatness and started becoming it. This wasn't about rookie potential anymore. This was about inevitability. He tasted something he couldn't unfeel. Not just dominance, but belonging. And that feeling, it doesn't fade, it builds. It feeds itself. That's what flipped the switch, not the score, not the stat line, but the belief. And from that moment forward, Michael Jordan was no longer just a name. He was a storm. The impact of that night rippled through the league. Teammates, opponents, and fans alike began to realize that they were witnessing the birth of a legend. Jordan's performance became a benchmark for excellence. Every young player who entered the league after that night would be compared to him. His work ethic, competitive spirit, and sheer talent set a new standard, and the pressure to perform at that level became the expectation. The NBA was entering a new era, and Jordan was leading the charge. As the days turned into weeks following that unforgettable night, the buzz surrounding Michael Jordan grew louder and more intense. Analysts eagerly dissected his performance, replaying highlights and marveling at the audacity of a rookie who had taken on a seasoned star like George Gervin. The media began to shift its focus, no longer solely covering Gervin's smooth style, but instead shining a spotlight on Jordan's relentless drive and determination. The narrative was changing, and the entire league was taking notice. Gervin himself, while still a formidable player, felt the weight of that night. He understood that he had been dethroned not in the traditional sense, but in a way that would alter the landscape of the game. The Iceman had come to Chicago expecting to teach a lesson, but instead he found himself on the receiving end of a masterclass in determination and skill. Although he respected Jordan's talent, he also sensed the pressure of a new generation breathing down his neck. In locker rooms across the league, whispers began to circulate. Players who had once looked up to Gervin now found themselves eyeing Jordan with a mix of admiration and apprehension. The rookie had set a new standard, and the challenge was clear: keep up or be left behind. The NBA was entering a new era, and Jordan was leading the charge. As Jordan continued to shine throughout the season, the Bulls began to find their identity. The chemistry on the court improved, with players rallying around their young star. Jordan's leadership manifested not only in his scoring but also in his ability to inspire those around him. His work ethic became legendary. He pushed his teammates to elevate their games, fostering a culture of excellence that permeated the entire roster. With each passing game, the Bulls strung together victories, and the confidence of the team grew. The franchise, once a doormat of the league, was now emerging as a contender, all thanks to the rookie who had taken the league by storm. The city of Chicago, long starved for success, began to dream again, envisioning a future filled with promise and potential. Jordan's impact was undeniable, and the echoes of that fateful night would resonate throughout the league for years to come. As the season progressed, the impact of that night continued to resonate throughout the league. Young players watched in awe as Jordan transformed from an untested rookie into a bona fide superstar. His work ethic, unmatched drive, and relentless pursuit of excellence set an example that would inspire countless athletes for years to come. Coaches began to implement drills that mimicked Jordan's style, hoping to harness even a fraction of his talent in their own players. In the months that followed, the media spotlight shone brighter on Jordan. He was no longer just a rookie sensation. He was the face of the league. Every game became an event, with fans flocking to arenas to witness the spectacle of Jordan in action. The NBA's marketing machine capitalized on his rise, featuring him in commercials, endorsements, and promotional events. Jordan was not just changing the game, he was changing the culture of basketball itself. As other teams prepared to face the Bulls, they knew they were not just facing a player, they were facing a phenomenon. Opponents began to strategize specifically for Jordan, devising elaborate game plans aimed at containing his explosive scoring and tenacious defense. But Jordan was relentless. He adapted, evolved, and continued to push the boundaries of what was possible on the court. The rivalry between Jordan and Gervin became a topic of discussion among basketball analysts and fans alike. While Gervin had long been regarded as one of the greatest scorers in the game, Jordan's performance that night marked a turning point. It was no longer just about individual accolades, it was about legacy. The narrative began to shift, and the debate about who would ultimately be remembered as the greatest player of all time was ignited. As the Bulls continued to build momentum, Jordan's influence became more pronounced. He was not just a scorer, he was a leader. His competitive spirit inspired his teammates to elevate their games, and the Bulls began to play with a newfound confidence. Each victory solidified their identity as a team that could compete with the best in the league. By the end of the season, the Bulls had transformed from a struggling franchise into a playoff contender. Jordan's impact was undeniable, and he was recognized not only for his scoring but for his ability to elevate those around him. He was named the NBA Rookie of the Year, a fitting accolade for a player who had taken the league by storm. As the playoffs approached, the anticipation grew. Fans were eager to see how far the Bulls could go, and the basketball world was watching closely. Jordan had proven himself in the regular season, but the true test awaited him in the postseason. Would he be able to carry his team to victory against the league's elite? The playoffs were a grueling battle, with each series testing the limits of Jordan's skill and determination. In the first round, the Bulls faced the New Jersey Nets. Jordan's brilliance shone through as he delivered a series of electrifying performances, leading the Bulls to a decisive victory. The young star was on a mission, and nothing would stand in his way. As the Bulls advanced deeper into the playoffs, they faced tougher opponents. The Boston Celtics, led by the legendary Larry Bird, awaited them in the Eastern Conference semifinals. The Celtics were a powerhouse, and many doubted the Bulls' ability to compete. But Jordan was unfazed. He relished the challenge, knowing that defeating the Celtics would solidify his place among the league's elite. As the offseason arrived, Jordan took the lessons learned from the playoffs and used them as fuel for improvement. He knew that to reach the pinnacle of success, he had to elevate his game even further. The summer of 1985 became a transformative period for him as he dedicated himself to rigorous training and honing his skills. Jordan worked tirelessly, focusing on his weaknesses and refining his strengths. He studied film, analyzed his performances, and sought advice from seasoned veterans. His commitment to excellence became legendary, and he pushed himself to the brink in pursuit of greatness. The determination that had ignited during that fateful night against Gervin now burned brighter than ever.
And Michael said, we'll try it out for 30 days, and 30 days turned into 15 years. Michael's mindset into training was extremely unique. I mean, the most competitive individual I've ever met, never wanted to lose at anything, always felt like somebody else was going to outwork him, so he wanted to outwork them, knew what his weaknesses were, knew what his strengths were. He had a big thing where he used to say, hey, listen, I'm going to turn my weaknesses into strengths.
When the next season began, the league was ready for the emergence of Michael Jordan as a true superstar. The Bulls, now with a renewed sense of purpose, were poised to make a deeper run in the playoffs. Jordan's performances throughout the regular season were nothing short of spectacular, and he quickly established himself as one of the league's most electrifying players. The rivalry between Jordan and Gervin continued to be a topic of discussion, with fans eagerly anticipating their next matchup. Gervin, while still a formidable player, could feel the changing tides. The league was evolving, and the new generation was making its mark. Jordan had not only silenced a legend, he had ignited a movement. In the years that followed, Michael Jordan would go on to dominate the NBA, winning 6 championships and earning the title of the greatest player of all time. But it all began on that fateful night in Chicago, where the seeds of greatness were sown. Fans would recount that game for decades. It became a symbol of Jordan's relentless pursuit of excellenza. Reminder that greatness is not given, it is earned. The Iceman, once the king of the court, had felt the first tremors of change, and he knew that the league was entering a new era.
Michael Jordan is my GOAT. I play basketball because of Michael Jordan.
Listen, Michael's the best I've ever seen.
Maybe the top player of all time. I mean, I hold him in that kind of regard.
Michael's one of the greatest players that ever played the game.
Growing up in the 90s, Michael Jordan
will always be the GOAT. Always. I don't care who comes along.
Jordan's performance that night set the stage for a rivalry that would define the NBA. Young players across the league began to emulate his style, his work ethic, and his fierce, competitive spirit. The landscape of the NBA was shifting, and Jordan was at the forefront, leading the charge into a new age of basketball. As the seasons rolled on, the memory of that night remained etched in the minds of fans and players alike. It was a moment when the torch was not merely passed, it was seized with both hands. Jordan's rise from rookie to superstar became a blueprint for future generations, proving that with determination, talent, and a little fire, anything is possible. The reverberations of that game extended beyond the court. It became a cultural touchstone, inspiring documentaries, books, and countless discussions among basketball enthusiasts. Jordan's ascent was not just about basketball. It was about the embodiment of hard work, determination, and the relentless pursuit of greatness.
Ricky Mahorn hustling underneath, can't get it to fall. Jordan to the hoop, hang in the air, score!
Was this the moment Jordan became more than hype, more than hope? Was this the spark that lit the dynasty we would all come to know? Some say his playoff duel with Larry Bird was the turning point. Others point to his first championship, the flu game, or the final shot in Utah. But maybe, just maybe, it was this: a cold night in Chicago, a forgotten regular season game, a duel with the Iceman, and a rookie who stopped being a rookie right in front of us. If you live for these turning points, these mythic nights where the game shifts beneath our feet, subscribe to NBA Legends. Because we don't just highlight history, we bring it back to life. Michael Jordan didn't wait for greatness to come. He didn't ask for the crown. He stole it. With every dribble, every shot, every defensive stand, he claimed what was rightfully his. Greatness isn't just about talent. It's about seizing the moment and making the most of every opportunity. He had worked tirelessly to hone his skills, preparing for moments like this, and he was ready to take his place among the legends of the game. If you like this video, don't forget to press the subscribe button and ring the bell to receive notifications about the latest videos from our channel. Please leave your comments and suggestions below in the comments section, and don't forget to share this video with your friends. This action also contributes to motivating us to work even more diligently. Have a great day.